All right, welcome to your Wiley Manager Crash Course, where this week we talk about running effective meetings, Robert.
We do indeed, yes. The Wiley Manager model for 4 points to meeting effectiveness.
All right, well, we only got the Crash Course version here, 3 minutes to cover some of the stuff off that we went into much more depth in the full-length version. Let's give it to them.
Right on. Well, your 4 points very quickly right off the top are prepare, 2, communicate, 3, control, and 4, document. Goodbye,
right,
drive safely.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, no, very quickly, what prepare is it again, do you have a purpose of this meeting? What would happen if you didn't have the meeting? Okay, what are your desired outcomes for this meeting, and are all participants prepared in advance? Have you prepared yourself an agenda? Number 2 being the communicate part. Is it okay? Well, after you've done all this work, hopefully now you got to go and tell people, right? So, what's the purpose? What's going to be discussed and why? What they need to do in advance? What time you want them to show up? What are the ground rules for this meeting going to be?
Okay.
Number 3, now you notice the first 2 happen before you even set foot in the room, right?
Indeed.
So number 3 is control. So once you get in the room, make sure you start the meeting on time. Make sure you assign roles if that's required. So do you have a timekeeper? Do you have a scribe? Is there a facilitator? All those things, right?
Right.
Are you encouraging all participants to chime in on various things? Are you keeping the meeting on track and on time? Have you done a process check? You need to control the process of that meeting. And then finally, and probably most importantly, is the documentation part of the meeting. So again, if something's not going to be different as a result of having had that meeting, or you don't capture the action items that come out of that meeting, then your meeting was probably a waste of time. So
Indeed.
Other than the donuts and the coffee, there's no reason to show up, right? So make sure that you document these things and keep an action list as you go along. Who has to do what by when?
That's really the most important point. That's the outcomes of the meeting that make it a meeting worth the time invested.
Yep, you betcha.
All right, now I know as well you want to chat quickly about some of the extra tools that we have back at the website.
Yeah, so back at the Wiley Manager website, we have in the membership area, we've got a meeting preparation checklist. We've got a meeting planner and draft agenda. If you don't feel like making up your own, just pull ours off and adjust as you see fit. Some sample ground rules, which again you can adjust for your particular situation. Role definitions for meetings. So we talked about facilitator and scribe and timekeeper and all that other stuff. How to get a meeting back on track. So you're sitting in a meeting and it's all gone horribly wrong for you and you're ready to jump out the window. How can you help get that meeting back on track? And also a meeting rating form. So again, as you get into the business of trying to continuously improve the meetings you're in, this is a meeting or a tool on how you evaluate those meetings.
All right, all that and more at wileymanager.com.
Yeah, you bet.
As well, I'll remind you can get the full-length version of the podcast where we go into each of these in a lot more detail. Most people get it off of iTunes. It's also available, again, off of wileymanager.com as well.
Yeah, and YouTube, in fact.
Indeed.
Right on.
All right, Bob, thanks for your time.
We'll talk to you soon, Jed.